London at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. British Foreign Secretary David Cameron was asked whether he should be ashamed of his country's plan to send refugees to distant Rwanda. Choose your plan. ArrowRight Critics, including 46% of MPs in the House of Commons, say the British government is pursuing extraordinary legislation aimed not only at avoiding scrutiny by its own courts but also at circumventing its obligations to international human rights laws it helped write. But Cameron, former Prime Minister responsible for the Brexit referendum, declared Rwanda plan a model for other Western countries to consider. He said it was quite unorthodox in some ways but represented the outside-the-box thinking needed to break horrendous human trafficking. Late Wednesday, the House of Commons passed Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's bill declaring Rwanda a safe country for deportees. Even though the British Supreme Court declared it unsafe, Britain is not alone in trying to make illegal immigration more difficult and move the asylum process offshore, as many of the 80 million displaced people worldwide are fleeing poverty and violence. The question is whether any deportation flights will take place and whether other countries will follow the UK's lead. The Rwanda plan is a bold, critics say, impractical and illegal proposal to deter people from crossing the channel in small rubber rafts by quickly sending those landing in Britain to Africa. The plan was the brainchild of then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who promised that Brexit would deliver on his promise to take back control of Britain's borders. Johnson announced in April 2022 that migrants who meet strict asylum criteria will fly 6,000 kilometers to Rwanda, where their asylum claims will be assessed. Depending on the results, refugees may stay in Rwanda, move to third countries, or be sent back to their home countries. He would never be granted asylum in Britain. How many immigrants can be deported to Rwanda? Johnson had initially promised that tens of thousands of migrants could be sent to Rwanda. Media reports claim that 1,000 refugees could be sent to Rwanda during the 5-year trial period. Britain's Home Office sent letters to asylum seekers threatening their status. What's stopping flights? And both domestic and international law. Britain's High Court of Justice initially cleared the first flight for June 2022. But European Court of Human Rights, which interprets European Convention on Human Rights, which Britain helped draft and was among first to ratify, halted flight just hours before takeoff. It was planned to take off. The case was returned to England. The UK Supreme Court agreed in November. The Rwanda plan is most controversial policy in the UK since major battles over Brexit. Lawyers have described it, alternately, as bold, radical, reckless and highly unconventional. London Major Sadiq Khan, a leading Labour figure, called it cruel, inhumane and useless.